let's move on to Amityville 4, The Evil Escapes. It has left the premises. All right, so this one decides, hey, fuck the house. And fuck the last movie, too, because the house is still there. So, is this a prequel to part 3? And they just took a lamp out, and then that's the only thing possessed? Okay, so you're going to make a movie about a house, and then make it not about the house, and then you're going to connect it to an object within the house, make it, some kind of possessed object, like in the Annabelle movies or something. And you're going to take a lamp and make it the stupidest looking lamp ever. And that thing is supposed to be intimidating? Is that thing supposed to be spooky, scary looking? Like, they couldn't have come up with a different object. I feel like you would either want to go one of two ways. You either want to make it really eerie, or you want to make it look really innocent. This looks neither. So, my memory of this film was that it was just dreadful. And having gone back and rewatched it now, I won't say it's absolutely dreadful. It's just mostly a made-for-TV movie that very much feels like that. But there's a couple okay things here and there, but for the most part, this is an absolute waste of time to watch. It just has like early 90s, late 80s made-for-TV movie written all over every bit of this. The way it looks, the way it's acted, the way it plays out. This is rated R? This is rated R? Like, this could have been an episode of The Golden Girls, man. Although it wouldn't be anywhere near as good. The Golden Girls is far superior to this shit. But regardless, that's about the level we get in this. There's no profanity. There's no gore, really. There's a hand in a garbage disposal, but you just see a little blood. So blood gets you an R rating. It's what I saw as an R rating. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, but an R rating on this thing, I don't even feel like this. Maybe a PG-13, but I feel like even that's pushing it. I feel like this could have easily gotten a PG with the PG-13 in existence. That's how tame this damn movie is. So anyways, so we get the opening with the reservoir priests, and they're coming in, and they're going to cleanse the demons. And of course, there's a lamp in there. They have an estate sale after the priest has been knocked out before he can tell them the secret of the lamp. Thought a freaking, Jafar was going to show up looking for the damn thing. Different kind of lamp. All right. And so I actually as I said, there's some things that I did like. So I'm not going to sit here and completely bash the movie. That's not me. Yes. Is it a bad movie? Yes, it is. But that's not me. I will break down each individual thing within the movie, and I will give credit where credit is due. I feel like that's something that very, very few reviewers or discussionists or content creators, whatever the hell, do when it comes to film reviews or whatnot. I really liked the old ladies. Like, I thought that they had some spunk to them when they were talking about buying the lamp and all that. I liked their characters, the way they interacted with each other, the stuff they were saying. She's like, this is hideous. And she's like, yeah, and I have to have it. Just stuff like that. I thought it was cute dialogue. And I was like, I like these old ladies. Too bad they're dead pretty quick. And then we got Brian from Star Trek here. This kid's been in a lot of Star Trek, actually. And man, he is a goofy looking son of a bitch. And then the father has been killed recently of his family, so they're moving in with the mom's mother, so the kid's grandmother, in case you don't know how family trees work. And, I have to, you feel bad for the kids. They're clearly dealing with some shit. And I feel bad for the youngest daughter most of all, because she legit is seeing her father. You know, this isn't a hallucination. This house is screwing with her, or should I say, the lamp. I'm a big fan of DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. It's one of my favorite kids' movies when I was growing up. I could quote like every line from that movie. I've seen it so many damn times. And speaking of which, Disney Plus dropped today, and I got to watch The Mandalorian and the new Lady from the Lady and the Tramp movie, and then I saw DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamps on there, which I actually spent. I actually signed up for the Disney DVD Club years ago just to get a copy of that movie and a copy of Return to Oz on Blu-ray. And now they're both on there for, you know, and it was an exclusive though. It was a Disney DVD Club exclusive. That was the only place you could get Treasure of the Lost Lamp. And then like a year later, it was at Walmart for $5. I must have spent like over $100 and something over the period of time I had to, and I got like Wall-E, and I got a lot of really cool Pixar movies, so it ended up being worth it, but I really did it for those two specific titles. Anyways, I'm talking about this for way longer, but there's lots of lamp talk in there, so anytime I say the lamp, I either think of Aladdin or I wouldn't say superior film, because Aladdin, the original Aladdin, is fantastic, but anybody else a Treasure of the Lost Lamp? Shablooey! I love that fucking movie. Anyways, Kablooey, Shablooey. Let's see here. And yeah, I already said all that. Okay, so the bird that he finds in the toaster oven, did the house just like teleport it there? Did it warp it into the toaster? Like, I want to see how. That's something I've always been fascinated with in certain horror movies, is like how things happened. I've talked about this many, many times where I say I want to see, you know, the killer cleaning up the bodies. I want to see Jason actually hanging them up in trees. I want to see Michael suspending Bob up in the freaking very, very, very deep closet that a 6-foot man could swing in like that. I just want to see those setups, like them actually setting those up. And they're like, ooh, then she's going to come over here. She'll probably bump into this, and that'll open it up, and she'll see her dead friend here. Like, it's so silly. But what happened to this bird? It just disappears from its cage, and it's in the toaster oven. The house picked it up and put it in there. Did it force the little kid to do it? Like, I don't feel like it had a grip on anyone at that point. The kid wasn't taking over, but she was kind of in a trance. Maybe daddy told her to do it. So that's the way I'll take it here. And moving on. The transfer, I will say, from Amazon, the Amazon Prime transfer that I was watching, I do have it on VHS, but when I have a better copy, see, I'm not that traditionalist dude, that like old school guy who's like, oh, watching things old school is better. Like, not for me. That is not me at all. I have none of that in me. The nostalgia of like VHS and that. The VHS is, I'm only watching it on VHS if literally no other means exist. Like, I'll go and I'll throw it on YouTube so I don't have to worry about tracking or anything. Like, VHS is last case scenario for me. The better quality, the better. So I am in the minority when it comes to horror fans on that, because they think it's like retro and so cool to watch things on VHS. I'm like, where's the 4K transfer? What the fuck is this? So the copy on Amazon actually looks great. So I was impressed by that. I have to say it's the best looking movie of the 4 so far because of the transfer that Amazon has. The first one looks like shit. It is not cleaned up at all on Amazon. So that's how I watch it. I have like 9 of these on VHS, but those are up in storage, A, and B, they're on Prime, so screw that. I'm watching them on there anyway. And for this very reason, this looks great. The chainsaw possession scene and him almost killing his grandma, and the friend's a total badass, man. She comes in, she takes like a metal bar and sticks it under it and is like, blocking it, and it's like grinding on it, and it comes to a halt. I was like, damn, man, that chick's no joke. Reminds me of the Evil Dead 2 scene when he takes the bar and he flips it and the body cuts itself. Ah, that would have been great if we would have done that to that little kid, but no, of course not. But yeah, like, why didn't he drop it? Like, as soon as it started going crazy, and I feel like the discussion did not get crazy enough. Like, the grandma in this takes things a lot better than she should. Have you ever been in your grandma's house and you even like leave a crumb on the ground? It is freaking pandemonium. This dude chops up her entire basement. She's like, what was that? And it's like, shit. Grandma's, man, she'd take that chainsaw to that kid if he did that. And then the little daughter supposedly like trashes her room and colors all over the walls, and her friend's dead. And the grandma's like, wow, how could this have happened? This is a very understanding grandmother. And the mom actually kind of goes at her like she's being too tough. She's like, oh, come on, you're too tough. It's like, grandma's, you've been hanging around. My mother's mother, never met the woman, but I talked to her on the phone. She is oh my God, she was a grade A cunt. Holy fuck. If the word cunt ever had a purpose to exist, it was to give her an apt description. Like, she embodies what that word stands for. The offense level that it hits for women, or at least what it once did, now it's not as, excitable as a word as it once was when I was, especially in like the 90s or so. I remember my mom was dating this guy when I was a kid, and I came in the bathroom and she was like crying, and she's like, me and Matt's broke up. And I was like, what happened? She's like, he called me a word that you never call a woman. And I'm like, what? She's like, he called me a cunt. And I was like, and then when I grew up later on, I was like, but mom, you are a cunt. Go Mats. All right, anyway. And oh man, the stunt double they have for the kid in that chainsaw sequence is hilarious, man. There's some like A-team stunt doubles there, man. They was not even close. And unrealistic reactions throughout the entire film. The hand in the garbage disposal actually going off. How many times have you seen a garbage disposal hand scene set up and then not done? It always just like teases you with it. And then it's like, no, no. Oh, you thought it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Most of the time it doesn't happen. In this one it does. And this was when the daughter was hitting on her. The daughter in this is, she's a really bad actress. But she's not bad to look at. She's a pretty cute chick. She's like 23, I want to say. I looked her up because I was like, this chick is not a teenager. Not even close. You could just tell in her face. I was like, this girl's at least in her early 20s. And yeah, I was about on the money there. She's about 23. She's a cute chick. She's just her acting. Like, it's when anything's asked of her. Her range is just limited. Like, she can do very blah, normal scenes where she's just talking and being an average, everyday teenager. But when something's required of her to be like above and beyond that, to actually like emote emotions, fucking forget it, man. She's like, oh no, what are we going to do? It's really bad. And I blame the director a lot on that kind of stuff too. You go, cut. No. I mean, look at the freaking Leaving Las Vegas. If you ever look at the story of that, when the director got a hold of him, the reason he won the Academy Award for that is that director really, not that I think Nicolas Cage can be a brilliant actor. One of the best performances you'll ever see, or the worst, I'm not sure. His Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Watch that shit and tell me he's a bad actor. I wouldn't argue with you, but I would also argue with you, because it's that weirdly weird performance where you're like, is this amazing or is this terrible? You gotta watch it if you haven't seen it. It really is just something else to behold there. But a director sometimes can direct you towards greatness, or they can allow you to do the shittiest work you can, and then they display it to the public. So maybe that was after he gave her like, no, I need more, and then he's just like, guess I'm not getting more, so that we're just gonna have to go with that. My shooting schedule is limited, and there we go. We got what we got. The phone melts in the dude's hand. I would say I'd be a believer at that point. I feel like the other priest should have probably went with him at that point. Like, I see a phone melt in your hand from talking to this possessed, trying to call up this house. Yeah, I think it's time. And the plumber's trapped down, and then a hand like pops out and he gets drowned. Could you imagine getting blasted in the face? Not by semen. Come on, guys. Like really, really hard. So much so that you can't breathe. That sounds just horrible. Especially when it's like this thick Vicks, this thick ass liquid that's just like gooey and gummy. Oh, just imagine this is whatever this is. I have to wonder, did they ever find that plumber's body? Are they just going to smell that guy in like a week? Because I don't remember him ever being found in this movie. Even at the end, they're like, all right, it's all over. And it's like, you still got a dead guy under your house. So you might want to resolve that issue. But hey, they didn't even go and dispose of the lamp after they threw it out the damn window. So these guys are not covering all their bases, to say the least. Coming home and your kid has fucking drawn some crazy ass pictures showing some signs of some serious depravity in her future is some scary shit, man. For sure. You see that and you're like, ugh, especially when the room's trashed and the nanny's missing, or I guess she's not technically a nanny, but the grandma's friend who's watching over her and would never leave, and she's like a family friend for years who's never let them down, and your daughter's been acting weird as fuck, and now they find her dead. It's like, yeah, and the door was locked, and she had like, cuts all over her hands as she's scratching at the door and shit. Fuck. I would have thrown her out the window, not the lamp, just to make sure. I mean, who the hell's gonna believe it's a lamp? And yeah, I already told all that. I did like the exchange where the daughter, the youngest daughter and the mom are talking, and she was like, "Who told you that?" or whatever, and she's like, "Daddy did." Obviously, Dad's dead. And as soon as she says daddy, the mom just grabs her and screams no, because she knows she's just out, gone, wacko in that moment. I think that was a really good, the mom's acting in this is actually pretty solid. The priest's acting's all right as well. The grandma, all the older ladies are fine. But the kids are all just dreadful, which is kind of typical of lower budget films. So no surprise there, but it's even more noticeable because it's a really shittily made TV film. And yeah, so then we have this like Goosebumps ending, like straight up. So lamps thrown out the window, very anticlimactic, like that was it? Okay. I mean, I don't feel like almost anyone was really all that much in peril in that moment, but you go with what you got, I guess. And so they throw it out the window, and then it's like, is it really over? Kind of reminded me of that freaking slasher movie I watched recently with Chuck Norris, Silent Rage, where it's like, is it over? Sure it is. Sure it is. You throw him down a well. Pretty sure he's okay, which he was. But yeah, is it okay? It's really over? Yeah, it's really over. Where's the cat? And then the cat turns around and looks at the camera, and it does that like freeze frame, and then just like gets closer and closer by frame to the cat's eyes, and then they light up red. Oh my god, I laughed out loud, man. It's fucking ridiculous. That's like in the opening of Goosebumps, during the opening credits of Goosebumps, they have the dog who turns and its eyes light up green as opposed to red, and then the music actually turns to barking, which makes me laugh out loud every single time. I don't know why the addition of barking into the music of Goosebumps makes me laugh every time, but it's like dun 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 dun, and then it shows the dog and it's like woof, 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 woof. It takes me back to like Halloween 5 when Jamie's up in the attic and she bumps into Max and she turns around, and for some reason they inserted a dog barking noise to like remind us that dogs bark. I don't know why that bark is in there. It's always pissed me off every time, but it also makes me laugh. It's like an angry laugh. We're like, why is that there? Why is it dog barking? Is she gonna knock like, you know, is it gonna be like one of those like speak and spell things where you like twist it and it's like the dog says woof and the cow says moo? Like it would have been so funny if she would have like ran into a cow and it was like moo, and then ran into like a fox and it would have been like pow, 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 pow. All right, I have kids and I've listened to that song a lot. Anyways, guys, Amityville 4. Now I'm not going to try to toot my own horn here, but my own horn here. But my review of this movie was a million times better than this film. Don't ever watch this piece of shit. There's a couple fun takeaways, but nothing worth your time. So there you go. Oh, and I also found out who the mystery donor was. So it was old David B, who already is a patron and has already requested a series that I just did for him, but he still sent me another freaking $100 in the mail to do another one. So I'm fine with that. You keep sending me $100, man. I'll review any fucking series you want. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I got to go. Adios.